So folks, buying a home is one of the biggest investments you ever make. But what if I told you the price tag that you see or the price that you offer isn't the only cost that you need to consider? So today we're going to be diving into a topic that every potential home buyer needs to hear about: the full cost of buying a home in South Florida. Yep, there are other costs that can catch you off guard if you're not prepared. So folks, let's go ahead and get into it. So closing costs is probably one of the biggest ones that's going to come back out that you may not be aware of when you go ahead and get ready to make that offer on that perfect home. So, these costs, folks, these can add up. It could be anywhere between 2 to 5% of the purchase price of your home. So folks, here in South Florida, that means if you're buying a $500,000 home, you could be looking at an additional $10,000 to $25,000 in costs. And what do these costs include? Basically, it's stuff like loan origination fees, underwriting fees, appraisal fees, settlement fees, title insurance, and of course your prepaid and escrows. Now, in all fairness, prepaids and escrows are really not, those are really not sunk costs. Escrows are basically setting up an account with a lender for your insurance and for your taxes so that you can have that paid every month for your convenience, if you will. You can, of course, opt out of those, okay? And the prepaids are essentially anything that you need to pay through a certain period of time until like taxes or until insurance are due. So, I mean, and those kind of things, that's just kind of swapping out costs. But there are a lot of costs, closing costs that go into that you need to be aware of. And it sounds like it's a whole lot of money. So folks, let me just tell you a little story about one of our clients, Jane. She looked and she finally found her dream home here in South Florida down in Fort Lauderdale. Okay, we were all set to close. We were going through those last minute things right before closing, a couple days before closing. But when we sat down to review the closing costs, she was shocked, okay? Nobody kind of told her about all these different fees. Nobody told her about different lender fees and transfer taxes and prepaids and escrows and insurance and all that other kind of stuff. So, and after a lengthy conversation with both the lender and the title company to kind of explain these things so that she knew where they were coming from, knew what they were, okay, and make sure that she understood exactly what was going to go on, we were able to get everything sorted out to everybody's level of comfort and convenience. But folks, I'll tell you, it was a close call, and there was a couple of days of some serious consternation going on. So, folks, it's always worth being prepared about knowing about these additional costs. This is working with experts like my team and I can really pay off. We'll work with our lenders and our settlement attorneys. You'll know way in advance of closing what these additional costs could be, and you'll understand what they are, what the costs are, what they're for, and what the benefit is. So, and we want to make sure that this happens long in advance, so that when you go to closing, it's a happy occasion. You sign the papers and you go ahead and sign everything done. You get the keys and life is great, and you're into your new dream house. Next up, we have property taxes, and we've been talking about this in just about every one of our videos here in South Florida. Okay, and while Florida is known for having no state income tax, which is definitely a boon, especially if you're coming in from out of state, from one of the states that does levy state income tax, okay, property taxes here can be kind of high. They can actually be quite high. For example, in Broward County, the tax rate in Broward County, where we are, is around 2% of the home's assessed value. Now, it's important to distinguish. There's an assessed value, which is what the property tax division folks look at, and then there's the purchase price or the market value, and typically they're different. However, if your home is assessed at $500,000, you're looking at an annual tax bill of about 10 grand, maybe $10,400. But you know what? There is some relief in sight. If this is your primary residence, the homestead exemption can reduce it by as much as $1,000. And there are also additional exemptions for seniors and for those with disabilities. Okay, and folks, remember, these taxes can and probably will increase over time.
Nobody wants a tax increase.
HOA, homeowner associations, or COA, condo association fees. Okay, this is another hidden cost, and this is one that can kind of get you if you're really not careful about it. Okay, if you're buying a home in a gated community, or you're buying a condo as part of an association, or even if you're buying a home that's inside of a homeowners association, you'll likely have to pay monthly fees. Okay, those fees can be anywhere from less than $100 to up over $1,000. If you're looking at a condo, for example, that's right on the water, right on the Atlantic, or right on the intercoastal, those fees can really rack up there. Now, those fees, a lot of it does cover off a lot of other things that you will be paying for. For example, in a condo association, the monthly fee covers all of the external insurance, which covers the insurance for the building, covers the insurance for the parking lot, and covers insurance for the garage and whatnot. So really, all you have to worry about is just getting contents and insurance for the coverage. So, and folks, this is a monthly fee that's added to your calculation when you are looking to figure out how much you can afford to pay. Insurance costs. Well, so folks, we've been talking about this in almost every single one of our videos also. It's the insurance costs. I mean, South Florida is prone to hurricanes, which can mean higher insurance premiums. Homeowners insurance costs can cost you anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000 or more per year. And folks, if you're in a flood zone, you may need to add flood insurance, which can add another $500 to $2,000 annually. So let me give you a little quick story about insurance costs, kind of how we approach it and kind of how we work for things. One of our clients, Dana, just bought a condo, and he was trying to get insurance. He was trying to get quotes for the insurance. He He's under contract for his condo and trying to get quotes, insurance quotes. So he encouraged him to reach out to his existing insurance provider and everything, but they were giving him quotes from anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000 a year for condo insurance, and that kind of doesn't make sense. And we really couldn't understand why. So we finally sat down with Dan, with an insurance company, and with the condo association. Come to find out that the condo association had its own wind mitigation policy, which is the biggest chunk of insurance coverage because that's what helps to cover the property against any kind of wind damages from hurricanes and tropical storms. Once we found out that they had that wind mitigation policy and the building itself was outside of the floodplain, we basically got rid of the wind mitigation aspect of the insurance. Plus, we figured out Dan did not need to worry about getting any kind of flood insurance, even though he was on the first floor. And everything that was needed was already covered off by the condo, and it was included in his condo fee. So actually, what was going to happen, he was actually going to pay double for some of the insurance that really wasn't needed by him. What he ended up doing is that he opted for contents insurance, got it to make sure that all of his personal property and personal things were covered, okay, in case of an emergency, and that came in at less than $1,000 a year. So again, sitting down, talking to experts like my team and I, we can help you walk through these things. We've been there, we've done that, we've got the t-shirt and the scars, we've seen it all. So definitely reach out to us if you have any questions about insurance or any questions about real estate taxes. Kind of maintenance and repair. So folks, when you move down to South Florida, you're making a lifestyle choice. That's kind of come down to it. You're making a choice to live kind of a different lifestyle than where you're coming from. So, and depending upon whether you choose to live in a condo or whether you choose to live in a single family home, there's going to be maintenance and repairs costs. If you live in a condo, a lot of those costs will be covered off by the condo association itself. They take care of your landscaping, they take care of the painting, they take care of the roof maintenance and the parking lot maintenance and the grounds maintenance and all that kind of fun stuff. But if you move into a single family home, okay, these costs are on you, okay? And because we are so close to the beach and because we get a lot of salt air in the water, you'll find that things need to be repaired and need to be maintained with a lot greater degree of frequency than they did if you, say, lived up in like where we came from in Northeast Georgia or where I'm originally from in Virginia. So one of the things that we talk about is that we recommend an inspection as part of every purchase, okay? The inspection comes through and it's really what it really is it kind of gives you an independent review of the condition of the property as well as the potential life of any major components such as appliances, the HVAC, air conditioner and furnace, and any other kind of major appliances. We are also big proponents of homeowner warranties, and I can talk to you easily for an hour and a half about that any day of the week. These can be very, very helpful, especially if your appliances or other components are kind of nearing the end of their lifespan. Okay, folks, and it's also a good idea to set aside anywhere between 1% and 2% of your home's value every year for maintenance. So for a $500,000 home, again, going back to our $500,000 price tag, you want to set aside about $5,000 a year for maintenance. Okay, this is maintenance and repairs. This is not doing upgrades and updates, but this is just for maintenance and repairs. And hey, look, if you end up needing it, then you have it. If you end up not needing it, okay, you still have it, and then you can start looking at what you're going to do as far as any kind of improvements to kind of make the place really truly yours. So folks, let's go ahead and recap a little. We've covered closing costs, we've covered property taxes, HOA, COA fees, insurance, maintenance. Okay, these hidden costs can add up quickly, okay? So it's crucial to be aware of this and kind of plan accordingly. Buying a home in South Florida can be a dream come true, but only if you're financially prepared for all the costs that are involved. So folks, what do you think? Were you aware of all these costs? Any surprises that jumped up? So drop us a little comment below. Let me know any thoughts you guys or questions you guys may have. And if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to Live in South Florida for more insider tips and real estate advices. And hey folks, don't forget to tap that bell to get notified every time we drop a new video out. So until next time, happy house hunting and stay sunny.